All right. Hello, everybody. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful. If you are new here, thank you for popping in for the first time on this video. If you're a return viewer, wow, I love you guys. You're so brave. You're just willing to put up with so much, and I love that. So, this channel is dedicated to people who are thinking about going to the food bank. You have a situation in your life where your budgeting is really tight, maybe something's happened, you're trying to meet things like your house payment, your car payment, your doctor bill, whatever it is, and you need to resource the food bank. And what I want to do is I want to make that easy for you. I want you to feel supported. I want you to feel like you are well within the norm to go. It is well within your rights to go. That's what food banks are there for. They are there for you. They are there for me. They are there for everybody who needs them. So, if you have never gone to the food bank before, I have a number of food bank hauls, and you can see what will come in a food bank haul. Now, every single food bank is different. Just because I got something or something was available to me on a certain day does not mean that it will be available or there for you. In the comments, I see people say, wow, your food bank is great. Ours looks about the same. Or I see people text me sadly and say, oh, in our area, we don't get anything like that at all. And so I don't have any control over that, people, but I do want you to at least check out and see what's available in your area. Now, I try to cook from my food bank hauls as much as possible. I like to make everyday things for you. Sometimes we make fancy stuff. I made a key lime pie a week ago. Yesterday, I made a chocolate chip brioche with orange zest breakfast casserole. And I am here to tell you it was so stinking delicious. That is at the end of the video called Food Bank Haul on February 14th. Okay, so today I have two things planned. Now we will see how that's going to go. I want to make some meatballs, and I want to make some Pioneer Woman macaroni and cheese. I think that's all I'll have the energy for. So let's get right into it. Again, if you're brand new, welcome. If you're a return viewer, you know you're my favorites, guys. You know it. And I'm rocking that fabulous little hat, but no ponytail today because I am too lazy to mess with it. I brushed my teeth and I washed my hands, people. That's what I can do for you today. Collaterally, this is what you will hear. Harry is on the back porch right now as we speak, and he's kind of thinking he wants to come in, but I'm going to ignore him while I'm with you guys. Over here, Betty Jan and Eloise, and I said I wasn't going to let them out while I'm cooking, but they're being so good right now that I'm going to let them. That could be a show, right? Okay, back here is Grandma. Grandma came out and had breakfast with us this morning. She enjoyed her birds. She was great, but now she's pooped. So she's taking a nice cozy nap. She may or may not need me while we're in here today. If she does, I'm going to leave you guys and go right to her. There's no way around that, nor would I want a way around that. She comes first for me. All right? All right, you guys are a close second though. So feel good about yourselves. Okay, so what I want to start with is something scary. I don't know if scary is the right word. I'm a little bit afraid of it, but we're gonna put on our big girl pants and we're gonna see what we can do with it. So it started out like this. I've cut it in half so I could deal with it. And it's called a beef patty mix. The ingredients are beef, water, textured soy, and flour. Now, it is the textured soy that is bothering me. But this is still a pound of protein, and I don't want to waste it, but I also don't want to eat it and feel like, oh, that's gross, right? Nobody wants that. Nobody's asking you to eat gross food. I'm not asking you to eat gross food. What I am asking you to do is take a chance. This morning or this afternoon, depending on where you live, we're going to take a chance. So we're going to start with 1 pound of this hamburger with some soy texture protein in it and some flour. It's not something that I would ever go to the grocery store and say, yay, hamburger with soy protein. But if I'm hungry and I need to meet my family, I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to make spaghetti or tacos, or I'm going to make something with it, and then I'm going to be thankful that I have it. Now, the other thing that I got from the food bank is just a regular 1 pound, 85% hamburger, and we're going to make meatballs today. So I think I have everything up here. 2 pounds of hamburger, food bank. This is a half a loaf of leftover bread. I'm going to toasty some breadcrumbs. This onion, this is a food bank onion. I'm going to chop that a little bit smaller. This is too big for meatballs. We have some garlic. This girl doesn't peel garlic. She hates to peel garlic. She will never peel garlic. We're going to use this. Then we have some tomato sauce. I'm going to put that in these meatballs. That's food bank. And then everything else is mine. So we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. We're going to add probably the last of my Parmesan cheese. We're going to add salt and pepper. And we're going to add some parsley flakes. And then I may or may not fry those. I might stick them in the oven, or I might fry them. I got a hot plate, so I should be able to do it right here and you guys can see, but it's not unpacked yet, and honestly, I don't know if I have the hoo-hoo to do all that for you today. So if I don't, we're just gonna bake them in the oven. No matter what we do, chances are it's gonna be delicious, okay? And if it's not delicious, honestly, I will come back and tell you, ooh, people, this product needs your ideas. You comment me and tell me how you would use this to make it yummy. Okay? All right, first things first, I'm going to put my hamburger in this bowl. And if I didn't say it before, hands are washed. Okay? And I don't like to deal with raw meat, but the gloves that I have are these big, heavy latex gloves that I use for Grandma. Of course, they're disposables. I never use them. Never. More than once. But I'm not going to use them here. I'm just going to deal with the hands, and then I'll go to the sink and wash everything up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add both the textured soy protein beef patty mix, which we are thankful for. Seriously, I'm not mocking. And we're going to use the other one. And then that can come off of our counter. The next thing I'm going to do, and this bread is still a little bit hard, so I'm going to cut it into some pieces. And we're going to go ahead and throw it into this super fancy, can you see it? This super fancy little food chopper. Okay? It should do the trick. And I don't know how many breadcrumbs I'm actually going to need. You can see that's still a little bit frozen. So let's pull off the unfrozen parts. And then I'll stick it in the microwave for a minute while we're doing something else. I think it should make really good breadcrumbs. I want my meatballs to be really good. I want to be ever so surprised. Okay. And this may, or, okay, I don't know. I spilled some stuff in my oven and I cleaned it out afterwards, but I'm not sure that I got it all. So, do I have open windows? I'm going to go open 2 windows over here, and I'm going to open my back door because I don't want my house to fill with smoke. All right, well, this is going to be a snafu-y little day. This gorgeous little thing worked perfectly a day or 2 ago, and today it does not want to work at all. I need it today for my breadcrumbs, but it does not want to play nicely. So I'm going to put it away. I will deal with this later, and I'm going to breadcrumb my breadcrumbs the best I can. That's going to be a process, so I'll come back to you. All right. My oven's on 350. this is what my breadcrumbs look like. I'm going to want those finer than that. So I'm just going to pop them on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to put them in the oven, and we're going to toast them for 10 minutes. And then I should be able to get them the consistency that I want. I don't want pieces like this in my meatballs. So we'll see. We're going to make it work. There's nothing we can't fix so far, people. All right, 10 minutes. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to chop these onions. Let's get that done. Do we love that? No, we do not. I was going to run them through the food processor, but not now. I could use onion powder, or I have some dehydrated onion, but I'd rather use these. So I'll swing you down and you can see me make a massacre of it. I don't exactly know where my big knife is. I don't even know if this will work. Yeah, it might. So we're just going to chop. And I don't know if you need to see me do this from start to finish, so I'll be back. I went and got the big knife and washed it. I want these quite a bit finer, and that little knife just wasn't cutting it. So we'll do this for a few minutes. Should be just about right here pretty soon. Okay, those are looking about right. I'm going to go ahead and add those to the meat. Okay, my breadcrumbs are out of the oven. They smell so nice. I've got this chopped up quite a bit finer than it was before. It's good enough for me. It's just meatballs, people. We're not going to get all fancy. And then let me show you the breadcrumbs. All right, can you see those? Those are nice and crispy, and I think that this is going to be noisy. All right, ideally, I would like these quite a bit smaller, but this is just the best that I can do for now. So they look pretty much like that. And I'm just going to add them to my meatballs. I'm going to do one handful first, and then if I need this other handful, I will come back for it. Let me put that right there. Okay, now, oh, good, I did pull out some eggs. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 eggs in here. There's one. Here's the other. I'm going to start with a half a can of tomato sauce. I'll add more later. We're going to need some garlic. We want these to be super tasty. We don't even want to know that there was soy protein in that hamburger. I'm going to add a nice tablespoon. We're going to add some salt. And I'd say about that much. We're going to add some pepper. I want these to be pretty basic because I want to be able to use them in whatever I am going to make with them. All right, I do have to deal with this. I like pepper, but I need to be a little bit careful for Grandma. She doesn't eat too much spicy food. There's that. How much of this do we have left? Okay, I'm going to add about half of that. So I'd say maybe 1/3 of a cup. There's that. A little bit more if we need it. And then we're going to add some parsley. I'd say 2 tablespoons. And some Worcestershire sauce. And I'm almost out, which means I need to get a bottle of this. This makes everything taste good. Now, if I had Heinz 57 sauce in my refrigerator, that is what I love to make my meatballs with. But I don't have any. So we're just going to use what we have. Now, I am going to be doing this to the meatballs. I don't know if you want to watch that or not. You got to decide because my hands are going to be messy. I'm just going to leave you right here. So I am going to knead this down and then I'll bring you back. Okay? All right, to those meatballs, I added the second half of the breadcrumbs that were a little bit smaller than the big chunks. And then I added the rest of the Parmesan. Spent a lot of time mixing it all together. I don't want any of that beef soy patty to be the taste that's coming through. So this is what my mixture looks like. Not bad, right? It's gonna be, it smells really good. The only thing I don't like about making meatballs is it's really hard to do a taste test. I'm not gonna eat raw meat, so I can only guess about my seasonings. Now I am going to take a 1/4 cup measuring cup and I'm going to make some pretty good sized meatballs. What did I do with my 1/4 cup? It was right here. See what happens when you try to clean up, people? You lose your mind. Cleaning up is highly overrated. Okay, so I don't know how many meatballs we're going to make. We like our meatballs a little bit on the big side, so we will see. Can you guys see me okay there? I wonder what's better. I think right here is better. Okay, so we're just gonna make some meatballs and maybe a 1/4, no, I like a good sized meatball. Plus these are 85% and whatever that beef patty is, they're gonna shrink down pretty significantly. So we'll just do them this size and then we'll enjoy them whenever we make them. Now I have about 3 recipes that I like to use meatballs for. I make a really good spaghetti and meatballs, which is easy to make on food bank supplies. I make a sweet and sour meatball. Again, that recipe that I used, and next time I make that, I'm going to bring you guys along. That one seems like I use mostly food bank supplies. And then sometimes I will make a Swedish meatball. For that one, I need some stuff that I don't find at the food bank very often, and when I do, it's in pretty rough condition, so I don't use it very often, but I like to make Swedish meatballs. My husband will eat meatballs all by themselves, so will my grandmother. So it doesn't really matter too much. Now I'm going to roll these out for you, but you don't need to sit here and watch me do all of that. So I'll come back and show you the meatballs and then we'll stick them in the oven. And it made, I don't know how many, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It made 17 meatballs. So I'm going to put those in the oven for about 30 minutes. When we pull them out, I'll come back and do a taste test for you, and then I'll package them up to go into my freezer until I need them. Well, the meatballs are in the oven. They are not done yet, but I'm going to go ahead and start the second project today, and that is the Pioneer Woman's Mac and Cheese recipe. Pretty basic, pretty simple. And a lot of these items are usually standard food bank items. So on my stove, I have a pot of salted water boiling. Into that, I'm going to add 2 cups of dry elbow macaroni. This you saw in my food bank haul last night or this morning, whenever you caught it. This was in that haul. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. I don't know where my wooden spoon is right now. We're just going to use this. And it can just do its thing. The next thing is that the recipe called for 2 cups of cheese. And so I have grated for you 2 cups of cheese. That's that block of orange cheddar that I get from the food bank. Used about half of that, and I added a little bit more because I like mine a little bit cheesy. Then I needed about 1/8 of a cup of flour, which is 2 tablespoons right there. That's food bank actually. And then this gorgeous heavy whole milk. I know that's not the right term. Whole milk. I'm going to use this, and I think that's 1.5 cups. Let me look at my notes. 1.25 cups. 1.25 cups is what I'll be using. And then the spices are mine, as they almost always will be. You can, once in a great while, you'll find a spice there, but usually not. So if you're missing some spices, when your budget allows, go to Walmart, dig in their 98-cent bin, and find you some spices because they make life good. So we're going to add pepper. Love pepper. We're going to add salt. And we're going to add dry mustard. Salt and pepper to taste, and the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of dry mustard. It also calls for an egg and 1/4 stick of butter. So here's my 1/4 stick of butter. And I haven't pulled out my egg yet, but I'll grab that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make macaroni and cheese from scratch. And I like to bake mine after I mix it up. So I need to wash the casserole dish that I cooked the casserole in. I'm gonna have to sit down and think about that because I hate to wash dishes in the middle of something. All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on the macaroni. I'll come back when I'm prepared to move forward, when my attitude has been adjusted, when I feel like I can be nice. I don't know, maybe next week. Okay, we are back to try our meatballs. Our beef patties, soy protein meatballs. I'm a little afraid. Are you guys afraid for me? All right, let's check it out. This is what my meatballs look like when I pulled them. Oh! I'm going to leave that in. I'm a disaster. You guys should know it already. All right, that's what my meatballs look like. So they look good. I cut them in half to check to see if they were done, and they're done. So that's good. This is my meatball here. So let's see what we think. I don't know. Well, can we get the camera there? All right. Should I take a smaller bite? All right, I'm just going to be brave, guys. Here we go. Okay, honestly, if I did not know there was soy protein in these meatballs, I would not know. The only thing I'm making a little bit of a face over is not the texture or the taste, but the seasoning is a little less than I would like. So I'm just gonna doctor up with a little bit of salt here and a little bit of pepper. And I'm not gonna worry about it too much because these all go in saucy dishes. So in spaghetti and meatballs, it's going to be surrounded by yummy, yummy flavor. In my sweet and sour meatballs, it's going to be delicious flavor. And if I ever get to make Swedish meatballs while I'm with you guys, it'll be the same thing. So Let's try it again. A little salt and pepper. No. That's all it needed. I need a little more. Just going to take another little pinch and I'm going to do one more bite. Let's see what we think. Not bad. So if you get a roll of beef patty soy protein mix, you can treat it like you do regular hamburger. In tacos, spaghetti, hamburger, tater tot, casserole, anything like that, it's going to be fine. You make the meatballs, it's going to be fine. You're not even going to know. Your family's not going to know. It tastes pretty good, actually. Here it is. Oh my God. Okay. Your girl is not elegant. Your girl does not have skills. Let's try it again. No. Okay, I'm happy with it. It's a basic meatball. It tastes good. The texture's good. There's nothing crazy about the texture. You'll be just fine. Now, I'm going to switch over to my macaroni and cheese. And then for supper tonight, Grandma and I will have a meatball or two and some macaroni and cheese. So let's switch over to the mac and cheese. Okay, I believe I've already showed you the ingredients to the Pioneer Woman's basic macaroni and cheese. The only thing that's not food bank is the salt and the pepper and the dry mustard. Those are mine. So I did set up my little heating stove right here because the light is better here. And you may or may not be able to see better, but I'm going to try. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take care of my butter and my flour. We're going to make a roux. So here's the butter right there. And that's going to go in here. And it should just do its thing. Hopefully it does its thing. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't have the adjustment right. Okay. It'll be a learning experience for us both. Shouldn't be bad, though. And you know what? I almost ate that whole meatball. Yeah. Whole meatball. I ate it. So, you know it's pretty good. The bottom of the meatballs are delicious. Turn my oven off. Oh, I know I need it on. Okay, we have 1/4 of a cup of butter in this saucepan. And we're just going to let it do its thing. I think my directions actually say 1/4 of a stick. So I'm going to pull out a chunk of this butter. We'll deal with it right there. If I need it, I'll add it later. Okay, so we've got some butter in here, which I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's probably not any better than when it was on the stove, but at least the lighting's better. So we'll keep that going. Let that get hot, and then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. We're going to make the roux. And see how it goes. All right, I'll come back to you. Okay, butter's busy sizzling, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my 2 tablespoons of flour. And we're just going to make a thickening roux. That should be quick and easy to put together. And I always cook a roux until the color changes a little bit darker, until it smells nutty. Smells nutty. Smells good. All right, I've got to stop you for a second. Okay. All right, let me get it. Can you see that color? Maybe not. You're gonna have to trust me, people. I want it to get just a little bit browner. And then we're gonna do 1 1/4 cup of milk. Now again, I'm halving her recipe. A full recipe would just be way more than Grandma and I can eat. Okay, so we're adding 1 1/4 cup. About right there. Gonna let that thicken up. And then we will add a little bit of this hot mixture into this egg. And then once that's all incorporated, we'll add it back into this pot. We'll add the cheese. We'll throw in the cooked macaroni. And we will be good to go. I'm going to add my seasoning though while I'm right here. So here's some salt. Oh, I don't need that much pepper. Well, we're getting that much pepper. There we go. I want this a little bit higher. Okay. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. So again, I'm not going to keep you for the whole amount of time that it takes to get this where I want it. I'll pick you back up in a few minutes. All right, honestly, that did not take long at all. Just a minute or two. So to this, I am going to scoop out a little bit of the hot liquid, and I'm going to add it to my egg. Nice and slowly, stirring the whole time. I don't know if you can see me. Maybe I can come right here. Maybe right there. I just want to blend that in so that my egg doesn't scramble. You all know how to do this. You've been doing it since you took home ec in high school, or your mama's taught you, or your grandma's taught you. However you learned how to cook. Looking good. There's nothing in there that looks like a scrambled egg. We're doing it, people. Oh, I need to turn that down a little bit. Okay. Actually, I'm going to move it off that corner for a second. Okay. All right. Finish this up. Put that back. That is perfectly tempered. There's no problems with that. That is textbook tempering. My cheese sauce is nice and thick. To that, I'm going to add this egg. It's going to be so yummy. Looks really good. Hungry for macaroni and cheese. Okay. Give that a quick stir. And then we're going to add the 2 cups of shredded cheese. Oh, I want to add my mustard first. Now, I like a lot of dry mustard. You guys might not. Calls for a teaspoon. We'll start with that, but I'm going to taste it throughout the process. And 2 cups of the cheddar cheese. Okay, let's see what we got here. You can see it a little bit. All right. What are you guys making for dinner tonight? Anybody go to food bank yesterday or going today? Maybe Friday? Well, I guess today's Thursday, so Friday would be tomorrow. All right. That looks good. Give it another minute or two. So easy, you guys. Homemade mac and cheese is so easy. Now, there's always a place for Kraft macaroni and cheese in our lives, right? Sometimes we just need it right away. Plus, it's just like a childhood favorite, so we might be emotionally attached to it. I'm going to grab a spoon because I need to taste that for salt, pepper, and dry mustard. Looks really good, though. All right. I'm going to use this spoon to put on my spoon in case I need to adjust. I think we're perfect, people. I don't think it needs anything. All right, I think we're good. Salt is good. Pepper's nice and mild for Grandma. And the dry mustard, I think, is spot on. So let's take a final little taste test together of the cheese sauce and make sure it's right, okay? All right. That's 100% perfect. We hit it right out of the park on the first time, you guys. We are excellent. Okay, now, will my 2 cups of macaroni fit in this pan? We're gonna hope so. Let me loosen it up. Okay, here we go. And just like that, my friends, we have made 2 dishes that are going to get us through the next few days. So even though I had to cook today instead of last night, it's afternoon. All I really need to do is unload. I have to unload the stinking dishwasher, and then I can load it up again, clean my kitchen, and we're good to go. Okay, getting this all mixed up. Now you could eat it just like this. There's nothing that says you have to bake it. That's just my personal preference. I like a baked macaroni and cheese. And that's what we're gonna do. Okay, there we go. And can you see over here? I buttered this dish. And then here is the macaroni and cheese going in. Gonna get all of that good stuff. Nothing left in the pot. We are going to turn this off and unplug. There we go. That's handy. Okay, and that is it. I'm going to put foil over the top, pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes. I will come, well, I don't know. Let's see. I'll do a taste test, excuse me, as is, without baking. It's good. Okay. I'm still going to bake mine, but you could certainly just serve it right here as is. So this probably took 10 minutes to cook the macaroni and another 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes right here to put it together. 7:56 it looks like. Okay, I'll show you the finished project and then we're done for the day. All right.